Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are still in a war with Prussia, alongside Prussia and the Ottoman Empire, against the Greeks and the Austrians. Austro-Hungarians, rather. We're winning over here on what I see as the main front. We're also winning on the front with Austria here. Well, not in that battle. But we're definitely... Nope, not in that battle either. But we are winning in this one. Okay, well, you know, force comparisons are a little weird over here in this situation, but, you know, we're doing our best. Anyway, most of our armies are over here, which I hope we are moving forward in. How's occupation? 44% Ottoman occupation here. And in this state... Oh, nope. We were winning a second ago, but now the Greeks are winning. 10% occupation in Macedonia. 31% in Western Thrace. And there is the Dreadnought unlocked. Wonderful. Okay, here's a large battle, which we are for sure winning. That's wonderful. Let me see. So I currently have ironclads in my my Marine Royale. I think upgrading right now is unwise. There's conveyors, wonderful. Do I have anyone raiding convoys? I for sure do. Any other sea lanes I could be attacking? I'm actually just going to move to the Western Mediterranean. I think that's the best. I don't know if the Eastern Mediterranean is being used by Austria-Hungary that much. But the Western for sure will, because that's their way through to the rest of the world. So that's definitely a sensible place to put a fleet. We're in good stead vis-a-vis command capacity, and our cash flow situation is rock solid. I think probably once we got household plastics unlocked, I will increase the size of my construction sectors once again. But for now, I think we're basically good to go. Check mass immigration. Excellent. Honduras wants to give us investment rights. No, thank you. So the other thing here is I could survey a skyscraper construction site, and I think that's the most sensible plan. So that means I'm going to grab one more government sector and convert those into the higher production method. Again, that's going to also support my my electronics industries, my electrics industries right now, which is going to be very valuable. So let's go ahead and press the button for that. This is going to cost 500 bureaucracy for a long time, but it's going to be worth it. We're still increasing the size of our workplace safety, but this number should go up significantly as we get a few more weeks going, and that should give us enough capacity to do the thing we want to do. Standard of living is still rock solid. Let's see, businesses continue to be... Oh, I can do better production methods. Wonderful. Businesses continue to be pretty profitable. Industrial businesses are doing alright. Can I get... Ooh, I've got assembly lines available. It's going to cost a lot of electricity. I don't know if I've got the capacity for that. But it's definitely something to look into. Automatic power looms could for sure be profitable for my textiles industry. But I gotta make sure I've got sufficient exports to make that happen. So I think maybe I'll leave that for the time being. How am I on... Or no, it's not oil. It's electricity for assembly lines. Right? No, assembly lines take oil as well. Well, these I can definitely afford. Yeah, we'll make that happen right away. Now for tooling workshops, let me see, it's going to take rubber, that's going to be fine. It's going to reduce the coal input, it's going to add a big oil input and a big electricity input. So where are we with oil, actually? I got a ton of oil in the market, and capacity for more. Wait, hold on. How much of that oil is from other people? Virtually none. Alright, beautiful. Let's hit the assembly lines button. That's going to make oil shoot up in price. But that's okay. I can afford that. I've got plenty of places where I've got oil production capacity, including East Borneo, which I'm currently not building up, but should be. Got plenty of infrastructure available. Let's throw a few more railways in here, and then let's max out the oil rigs. So, we'll go ahead and throw those railways once again at the top of the queue. And you know what? We'll throw 6 levels of oil rigs up there just to get started. I don't need those lead mines as much, although I do still want to complete these other railways. I want to invest in Banjar because clearly Banjar's in dire need of economic assistance. And I'm investing in a bunch of different locations in Banjar, so we'll continue to focus there. How is the war going? Hedge, don't wish to invest in you right now. Oh my goodness. Prussia bailed out of the war. Well, that sure is unfortunate. They've got a Lithuanian uprising. That is curious. Alright, so at this stage, I think we'll put our secondary armies back in the Netherlands. And we'll put 2nd Dutch Army on the main front, because this is about to be a much bigger front. We'll rely on those units to defend us for now. Workplace safety is up to level 3. Wonderful. Short on convoys again. Alright. Interesting. So, a white peace got signed, where the only thing that happened is Austro-Hungary got themselves humiliated. Is that in here? Well, cool. What a successful war? Interesting. I did it. I made a difference. Oh my goodness. Prussia, you keep fighting wars. Prussia, everything's bananas over there. How's France's war with... Uh-oh. How's France's war with Great Britain going? Yep, still causing mass casualties. We got about 5.5 million dead at this point. Both sides have got war support protection. France probably has war support protection as well in this thing. Yeah, they sure do. Yep, they're both going for humiliate. Well, if France could just get Gyeonggi, but apparently they cannot. And now Korea is in a revolt. Oh, interesting. Korea's a British puppet now. Curious. Well, not too keen on that. But it is what it is. Ooh, Ethiopian attitude improved. Why, do you have a movement you'd like me to help you with? Ooh, total separation. That's pretty good. Ooh. Russia's siding with the Hanoverian peasant revolt. That's curious. So they're going to fight the Prussians. Meaning... I may have an opportunity to support Prussia as well. Let's see, it looks like the British are most friendly towards the peasant revolts. No one else seems especially inclined to get in on this except for Hesse. I'm going to keep an eye on this for now, so what can I ignore? Whatever's going on in Oranje, I can ignore that. Whatever's going on in Hamburg, I can probably safely ignore that. And then this is a French colonial war that I can safely ignore. So, I see. So Prussia can't pull me into this because they're, because they're not the war leader. On the other hand, I think stepping in earlier rather than later is the right call. So we'll support the Prussians. And we will mobilize. And we will, we'll mobilize. You know, I'm throwing my weight around a little bit. This might not be the best thing to be doing here, but, you know, I think it's just sensible. So what we'll do is we'll put our small armies on these various fronts. And we'll leave our main army in the Netherlands for now, but once the war gets going, we'll scramble these other armies back to the Netherlands and put our large army on the Russian front. Unless, of course, it looks like the Prussians are going to be losing real bad over there, which it is kind of looking like is going to happen. So maybe we need to get these units here. In fact, I think we do need to do that. So what we'll do is we'll take these smaller armies, we'll put them back in the Netherlands to make sure we don't get invaded. We'll put the second Dutch army back in the Netherlands as soon as the thing is sorted out in the western part of the front here. And then, with this front being defended, solely by us it looks like, so I'm going to put all these armies on defense for now. The duel. Theophile Goubau and Paul Denbier Portugal have challenged each other in a duel to the death. The aura surrounding the two figures is like something out of a romantic novel. Paul Denbier Portugal smiles. He has been rehearsing this moment before falling asleep. Theophile Goubau, you are a foolish fool. Your insults cannot go unanswered. Pick a weapon of choice and we shall meet tomorrow. You know I am always going to let them fight. Wow. Theophile has been lost. We got, and Portugal is the winner. Interesting. Let me just make sure that's not a problem for any of my armies. Second Dutch army definitely needs another leader. Let's put this industrialist guy in there just to make sure that there's command capacity available. Oof. This front is not looking great. We'll put an army there. And perhaps we'll just simply pray like the dickens that we don't get invaded, because there are quite a few Russian troops over here. You know, I rather assumed that Prussia had a substantial army, but oh, they're all on this front. Oh my goodness. Things are brutal. That said, Russian position here looks rock solid. I might be able to get going forward. So let's go forward. Where is the nearest incorporated Russian territory? Yeah, I think it's Grodno. So, let me see. Well, Russia doesn't have war sport protection. So right now, actually, but occupying them would give me some benefits. We'll slide in going forward for now, and we'll see how things look in these other fronts for the time being. Hanover's in default. That's the government, so that's not great for us, but that's all right. We are experiencing some success in the war place. We've got a little bit of occupation of the state. How's it going? Alright, we're actually more occupied. And things are looking better and better. This battle could maybe go either way. This one's also going our way. Alright, beautiful. So things are looking rock solid over there. We are pushing forward in the front with Russia over here. We are winning battles on offense. even when we don't outnumber the enemy, which is quite surprising, and I'm feeling pretty full of myself right now. Feeling pretty high on Dutch military might, it turns out. We're throwing a lot of weight around. Let's put our fleet somewhere where it matters. That was a real oversight on my part, but that's okay. And we've got Warsaw. Excellent. We are advancing in Russia completely by ourselves. Well, not completely by ourselves. We've got a small army of Prussians helping, but not that many. A situation is going on in Japan. Let me see. This is a capitalist revolt, which frankly I am tempted to side with. If I offer you my support, what can I get for it? Only a trade agreement or an obligation. Neither of those is useful to me. I think perhaps I will sit that one out, but I'll keep my eye on it for now. British Congo is popping off, but I can safely ignore that. Hey, France, how's your forever war against the Brits? Yep, 2.5 million dead and wounded on the British side, 3.5 million dead and wounded on the French side. We're engaging in, well, not us, but there is a serious that is significantly impacting the population of France and Great Britain right now, which is just grim. That's a grim situation. We'll see how much longer that persists. We're about halfway through the episode at this stage. Looking good over here. Hopefully we can get the state. And there's the state. Wonderful. So, I'm going to put the main Dutch army back in the United Netherlands. We will put these other forces actually here too. For the time being, I don't need a bunch more armies at the front, the Eastern Front. And that is the war finished. Wonderful. We did it. Oh, I'm feeling very happy. Obviously, I'm not getting involved over here, so we'll go ahead and get our neutrality be something official. And Hanover is happy with us. Excellent. That's very good. They would accept a take-on debt from us. How much is their debt? 156,000 pounds? Absolutely. I'll take on that debt for an obligation. Which I can absolve, but it's nice to just have. Two Sicilies has gotten all the central Italian states yet. Still, it's 1903, and we haven't seen an Italy form yet, which is a little bit of a shocker. Oh, is it because Sardinia-Piedmont is a puppet of Great Britain? It is. Well, that's not that big of an issue. Let me see. Civil War in the Philippines. Everyone's likely to align with the Philippines, though, and I don't want to fight all those nerds. Are we still getting a huge pile of cash from Spain? We're not. This is really curious. I think I need to increase the size of the construction sector, and I need to increase it by a lot. But actually, no. I'm still waiting on plastics. I'm going to have self-restraint. I'm going to exercise self-restraint. I'm going to wait till I got plastics. Yep, Russia sides of the Philippines. That's not shocking. The British Raj is also involved in this war. In this war that threatens to crash the game every time we look at what's going on. Gosh, that's really bad. Closing in on 3 million casualties on the British side. And, or no, this is the British side. The British side's the side with more casualties. Almost 1 million dead Brits, and 1.25 million just from Britain. Then on the French side, about the same numbers for France, in fact, slightly more. That's bananas. No wonder the game's running so slow. All you need to do is invade the middle of Korea, France, but they don't seem to be able to manage it. So, let's take another look at the situation in our subject states and see if there are movements that we can leverage. Not really here. I got them doing agrarianism. The wage subsidies movement is radical but not very powerful. With that said, I think they're about to do agrarianism, so let's watch it happen. Let's watch us actually make a big difference in the state of one of our subjects, and that'll be really nice. Oh my gosh, they've even got a voting movement. We'll leave that be for now. Wage subsidies feels like such a mistake for a measure team. Of course, Japan's being cut in half by a civil war at this point, so let's hope our investments are safe, but I'm not necessarily going to get involved. Both of these things I think I can simply leave to happen by themselves. Come on, Measure-Team, I know you can do it. Alright, and now they're doing wage subsidies. Wonderful. That's perfect. That's exactly the sensible options. So, Ethiopia. If I make you go to total separation, actually no. I do want to do that. Because that's going to make the intelligentsia stronger, and that's going to be very good. They've done racial segregation already. So we go for that. They'll have a decent stall chance, but it'll be fine. I don't think... Let's check if the Ethiopian landowners care about this. Protectionist, that's wonderful. Actually... Hold up. I could make them go to interventionism, because the landowners are protectionists. Yeah. Yeah, I think we definitely will. I can't. Why not? Because they're doing serfdom. Oh, that's brutal. That's so brutal. Alright, well, unfortunately, that simply is what it is. If I move them to agrarianism, they will have success chance with that, and I think that's the better path for now. So we'll go ahead and make that happen. We'll see what they decide to do. Now, what about Marina Kingdom? You've got jingoists in your landowners. Beautiful. Those guys would like professional army. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. That's something they can do that'll increase the strength of it. Actually, no, it will not statistically. I know it says it will, but it actually won't. I saw a guy run the data. With that said, it's definitely preferable to peasant levy, which is what they've currently got. Now, Austro-Hungarians working on wage subsidies. Alright, Marina Kingdom has accepted professional army. What about Siak? You got a presidential Republican movement. If I make you go that way, how are things going to look? Decent chance. Let's do it. Now, Banjar. You've got a racial segregation movement and a colonial exploitation movement. Neither of those is... Well, racial segregation is better than national supremacy. So, that's definitely something we should do. Colonial exploitation, though, that's not going to benefit you at all. So, racial segregation it is. Beautiful, and they've gotten started. And they've gotten started as well. Excellent. Excellent. We're reforming our subject states. We're making things better. Beautiful. And that is looking rock solid. Once you've got wage subsidies enacted, that should be just fine. Ethiopia is moving towards agrarianism. All right. Well, we've pursued an agenda of reform in our subject states, and that's generally going really well. So I'm feeling pretty pleased by that. There is plastics. We're going to switch all these over right away. Really? Not better, huh? Why? Because there's a huge oil increase. So let me see, 25 times 84. That's about 2.2k in additional oil demand. Yeah, that's why. Alright, so we need to make sure we've got oil resources in place before we do that. Oh my goodness. Look at all these events. Before I do that, I think it's Friesland where my native oil is. We're already maxed out. Alright. Well, it was a good idea. What about whaling? We can get some oil from whaling, right? We're already kind of maxed out on oil from whaling. Whaling Yutani. Alright, so let's take a look at oil resources in other areas. We got access to any in... There's a little bit in Ethiopia. But we've already built it up. What about the Marina Kingdom? No. Siak? There is some available in Siak. We'll go ahead and build that. We've already maxed out, or we got queued in to max out the ones in Borneo. Alright, so that's all our oil capacity as a customs union. Ugh, that's not ideal. But it is what it is. We'll find some ways to get some oil. Maybe we'll go after some territory in the Middle East. Defamatory article. A newspaper called the Holland Chronicle has printed a bigoted article about the Lacustrine Bantu people living there. We can suppress the article, or we can let it be released. He threw the tabloid across the table with a huff. Absolutely vile lies, the lot of it. Alas, that won't matter to those who read it. They'll gobble it right up. He eyed the shocked maid's face, then righted himself. Of course they'd believe it. He hadn't given them proof to the contrary. Suppress it, reduced authority, or ignore it, -1 standard of living. We'll suppress it. I don't want to be reducing standard of living for minorities. An exile at the gates. The relatively lenient Dutch immigration system has long been attractive to those fleeing their home nations. Recently, Edvard Treschau has petitioned to join the stream of people moving to the United Netherlands. It was one name on a very, very long list, one that had passed through multiple layers of bureaucracy before being noticed. One fateful day, however, one clerk at the end of his shift pointed at that name and spoke those fatal words. I could swear I've heard of him before. I can bring him in. Eventually, Edward Treschau, too, will be Dutch. Or we will not have someone like this regardless of precedent. So who is he? He's an authoritarian aligned with the intelligentsia. You know, my industrialists are not as happy as they could be. I'm going to say we won't have someone like that. I don't want an authoritarian around here. Advancement in medicine. The Dutch-French Friendship Committee are greatly impressed by the advancements the Kingdom of France have made in medicine. With urgency, they seek to model the French approach to medical innovation. A lobby member that has recently returned from touring the Kingdom of France and speaking with French doctors shares more about the experience. The medical accomplishments of the Kingdom of France are quite spectacular. Should we take after their example, it would only improve the standing of the United Netherlands. Send some of our finest to study medicine in the Kingdom of France, improves relations by 10, makes the committee happier, or research their methods immediately, extra cash, and extra progress on malaria prevention. I don't need malaria prevention super duper hard, so we'll go with the improving relations and appeasement of the committee. And that'll be nice. Now, can I do a smaller increase in... Well, I'm actually good on glass right now. But if I want to increase the size of the construction sector, I'll definitely need more. And I do for sure wish to do that. So, let me see. Where's a good place? Oh, Holland needs an increase in taxation capacity. Go ahead and do telephone switchboards there as well. So, construction sectors. Let's get up to 15 in all areas. It's a massive increase, actually, but I think it'll be sensible. Let me see. How much is this actually? I might be totally outrunning my capacity. How much is this? This is a 50% increase. A really enormous number. Let me see. We're currently spending about 300k on construction goods, so this would increase that up to about 450k. Investment rates in Hamburg, I don't wish those. You know what? We'll be a little bit more conservative than that. We'll go up to 12 in each area. And 15 in Flanders. So that'll be an increase to 63. That's a much more modest number. And we'll throw these in at the top of the queue. With that having been said, that is all the time we've got for this episode. My nerds have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.